On YouTube, welcome to another fantabulous episode of the Raise Hail Praise Dale podcast. I am Voodoo,
I'm JT Dallas.
and we are here to talk about some fun stuff, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail. Some Hotlanta stuff, controversial stuff going on there.
We got quite a few things coming up.
Yeah.
Definitely some controversial stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we got some stuff that I don't even think's in our. I see what it is now. Okay. Sorry. We got some stuff that I don't even know if it was on the notes, but I seen at the last minute that we can talk about. So, but
Yes,
before
sir.
we jump into that, roll that beautiful intro. All right. So, Phil, I thought about kind of switching it up a little bit, starting off with a little small talk. So, how was your week this week?
My week was pretty interesting, I would say. Did a couple things this past weekend, if you couldn't tell by the stuff wrapped around my neck. Couple Mardi Gras parades we went to.
Heck yeah.
Other than that, I mean, during the week was pretty much work and finishing up the basketball season with one of these chitlins that's standing right here, and one of my other ones.
Nice.
What about you?
I just figured, oh man, I've actually been kind of busy. So it snowed here last week. And oh yeah. I have the podcast up on the TV and Haley's seen your daughter. But
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's
We got a VIP in the chat.
Braden, welcome back. Welcome back.
Since we're talking about how weeks gone, how's your week been, Braden?
Hopefully good, but yeah, it snowed a lot here. I've been at work a lot, so about it.
Yeah, work is
Playing
fun.
Playing the new Avowed game. That's pretty fun. Kind of sucked my life into that. So
Yeah, that's got a little bit of hope to it for that game. And then obviously we started co-op career on F1 24. Was that yesterday?
yeah, we started that yesterday. So we might have to play some of that on stream on our Twitches. Because so I have a new setup ish, same computer, but I have a 2-screen setup now. So moving on up in the world. So I might be able
join the
to
rest of us.
stream a little bit more. But so with all that being said, is there anything else you want to talk about while we're doing this small talk segment?
We got some fun stuff coming up this weekend. Guess what we get to finally see on track again?
What is that?
A Redbull paint scheme.
Dang right, boy. And guess who gets to go in debt for another diecast because of this last weekend? But we'll get more to that.
Yeah. We got plenty of stuff to go over.
I showed off one of mine on the diecast distraction, which if you guys don't know is on our TikTok. It's like a TikTok exclusive. Yeah, I'm not doing bad, honestly. My fantasy's doing all right, so
but
I'm surprised.
My drivers keep getting wrecked out. I don't like it. I didn't even check to see how
maybe
it
you
did
should just pick better. Apparently, I think Haley said that she did better than you in the chat.
Well, she's cheating, so
Braden, you should jump into our fantasy chat. Get your chance to win a 164th at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't know. I felt like doing something new today. I don't know. Hey, I thought we had one that hasn't even made a pick yet.
We don't need to go into all them details now. I don't have the least amount of points though. That's what I was more. We got 7 people in here now.
We do. What's moving on up?
How I did it.
What was I going to say? Man, I don't even remember now.
Saying she did better than me. She did a whole 3 points better than me this week.
That's right.
Act like she did something crazy.
Well, but anyway, I just thought we'd bring something new to the podcast. Start with a little small talk, make it feel a little bit different.
Might as well talk about the fantasy league too while we're at it, since Braden brought it up.
Right. So yeah, Braden, if you go on and search Race Hale Praisdale, and
Podcast.
Hale is spelled Hale, and the password is RHPD2024. If you want to jump into our fantasy and all lowercase.
Yeah, and that's all on NASCAR.com. And make sure you got the podcast at the end, or it's not us.
Yes, sir.
The Race Hale Praisdale podcast. So that winner takes, like you mentioned, LionelRacing.com, 164th of your choosing.
Yes. Yeah, Braden, Ricky was out about. Carson Hocevar was out and about, surprisingly, this week.
I'm good with Carson Hocevar's finish. I'll take it.
Give me just a second. If you want to go ahead and roll the intro to post-race breakdown.
What if I want to? I'll do it anyway. You should be able to be in more than one league, Braden. Shouldn't have to be limited down to one.
Yeah, I think you can be up to 6. If I want to say.
I don't know why it's looping. Turn the loop off.
Not sure. But since did you roll the post race breakdown? Sorry,
I did. That's what I was just asking. Questions. Why it was looping. Play it twice.
Okay. So you want to talk about some penalties? Am I in the right one? Hang on a minute. Let me make sure I'm in the right.
Let's throw this up again, because it doesn't appear to have thrown the topic up like it's supposed to.
I think I've got the right notes open.
There we go. Now it's right.
Yeah, I've got the right ones open. We're good. Okay. But so you ready to talk about some penalties?
Penalties. So obviously these are from Daytona, because penalties for Atlanta have not been released yet. Starting off pretty significant one, I would say, for an ARC team. Got actually 3 crew chiefs. Be Adam Murphy of the number 27, Shannon Rursch of the 25, and Nick Tucker of the 46 have all been fined $2,500 and put on probation for the entirety of the 2025 season due to violation of ARCA rulebook regarding illegal changes to the body and the rear spoiler. So $2,500 may not seem like a lot,
big oof,
but that's an ARCA team. So
yeah, so it is a lot. It's coming out. It's not like they've got a whole race team that can. I mean, some of them might, but
right.
I'd sure hate to pay $2,500.
I'd love to get
moving
paid
on to. I mean, I would love to get paid $2,500. Moving on to the penalties for the Cup 500. We got Chase Briscoe getting penalized for the modification of a single source supplied part. Crew chief James Small suspended for 4 races, though through and including Las Vegas. Team and driver assessed a loss of 100 points and 10 playoff points. It's also fined $100,000. It is RHPD all lowercase 2024. Sorry, I seen Braden's question.
Before Atlanta, with all that loveliness going on. He was negative 67 points.
Negative 60. Oh, yeah. It was insane.
Which he's probably still negative.
Yeah, probably.
It would have been really crappy if he did crappy that race. Like got wrecked out early or something.
Oh, yeah. I hate it for the team, but at the same time, like, what do you expect?
Right. Just so happens to be like that ARCA penalty was for the rear spoiler. So was Chase Briscoe's. Also the rear spoiler.
Yes, sir. But that's not all of the penalties for the 500.
We got a couple of guys with ballast container violations. That'd be Todd Gilliland in the 34 and Cody Ware in the 51. Both of those teams, not only the team but the driver as well, assessed a loss of 10 points each. So.
Yep. There has been a few appeals. The National Motorsport Appeal Panel upholds the disqualification for Parker Kligerman. The panel confirms it was more likely than not a rule violation and did occur in the disqualification penalties in Rule 10.5.2.4. Necessitates a race. It basically saying the panel's like, hey, your truck was too low. It's against the rules.
Yeah,
you got it.
More than likely, it was done on purpose.
We'll be right back.
While he's doing that, we'll continue on. That's all we got as far as penalties and appeals. We get to jump into checking out the races from this past weekend. First things first, we'll go to the trucks. That'd be the Freight Racing 208 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The purse for that, including all your payouts and all that fun jazz, was $782,000. $782,900. Holy smokes! I can't talk. He must be rubbing off on me or something. Your pole winner there would be the number 81 of Mr. Connor Mozak. If you look at our graphic, we changed up the layout just a smidgen, just to try and make it look a little bit better. So you got your pole award, your stage winners, and your fastest lap on the left-hand side over there, and then your top 10 in the middle and right-hand side. Nobody DNQ'd on this one.
Nobody DNQ'd.
Check and make sure you're in. I don't have the chat on these screens, which I probably need to add it to these.
I know. I thought I had it where I could pull. Hang on. Let me see if I can pull the chat up here. Maybe not. I thought I could. That's annoying. There we go. Should be working.
Yeah, looks like you are indeed in, sir. Looks like it pulled your points into it too.
Is he beating me?
He's got 283, so he is beating Cinderella and myself. That's it.
Gotcha. But anyway, moving on to your stage winners. I don't know if you covered that.
Well, we didn't say who went to the rear yet, but
yes. Oh, okay. Well, then we can go to Chandler Smith for unapproved adjustments to the rear.
Indeed.
Sure. And then Jack Wood won stage 1. And of course, Kyle Busch took stage 2. I'll let Voodoo take the top 5 and I'll finish off the top 10.
Well, Kyle Busch got himself a win this weekend, but not in the series he was hoping for. Pulled a truck win out, which he was making some pretty crazy moves towards the end there, swapping leads with other fellas out there.
I do miss his camo truck, though. I wish that would be his main truck scheme.
Yeah, well, I doubt that's going to happen. It's probably going to be that Spire paint scheme for...
Unfortunately.
But falling in line behind Kyle Busch would be the number 52 of Stuart Friesen in second. Tyler Ankrum in the 18 in third. And rounding out your top 5 would be the 44 of Bailey Curry and the 38 of Chandler Smith. So he went all the way to the back and got himself top 5.
Yes, sir. 6th is Caden Honeycutt in the 45 truck. 99 of Ben Rhodes coming 7th. The 98 of Ty Majeski came in 8th. The 13 of Jake Garcia come in 9th. And the 10th position was given to the number 9 of Grant Infinger.
I don't think it was given to him. I think he fought for that, sir.
Well, you guys know what I meant. But if you noticed, no, you wouldn't have noticed. So the 2 podcast favorites, I misread the stuff, so sorry, guys. But the 2 podcast favorites came in pretty close together. So the 5 of Tony Breidinger came in 24th, and the 33 of Frankie Muniz came in 22nd. 6th, I'm sorry. I had a hiccup right in the middle of that.
He's needs some Hooked on Phonics if anybody wants to sponsor him on that. Great.
I don't rate so good.
Right. Another week, another Xfinity fastest lap for the trucks. This time it went to the 15 of Tanner Gray. He secured that on early in the race, actually. Lap 41 with a 30.227 lap time. And no race no issues in post-race tech. So everything official there.
Yes, sir. All right, moving over to Xfinity, the Bennett Transportation and Logistics 250. The purse was a whopping $1,651,939 purse. Grandma had some stashed away.
Didn't give any to me.
So, I know, she left me out too. The Bush Pole Award went to Jesse Love in that number 2 car.
Yes, sir. No DNQs because it didn't have more cars than spots. We did have one car go to the rear.
We did have one to the rear.
Be Mr. Joey Gase, the 35.
I need to get that sound. That's what I need to do. Anyway, we had stage 1 winner of Austin Hill, stage 2 winner of Austin Hill, and who would have ever thought that he'd win the race? He just swept it out wherever he could.
Mm-hmm.
But in second comes the number 7 of Justin Allgaier, the 19 of Eric Almirola come in third, the 8 of Sammy Smith came in fourth, and let me just stop and say that Junior Motorsports number 8 looked beautiful on track. I love seeing it. And the 48 of Nick Sanchez came in fifth.
The 8 was all right. It was all right.
What do you mean it was all right?
It was all right.
8 was beautiful. It was nice seeing the Junior Motorsports back at it again. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
It was much nicer to see him in Cup. But anyways.
That's very true.
Coming in sixth would be the 27 of Jeb Burton.
Oh my Lord.
The number 10 of Daniel Dye in seventh. And the number 70 of Leland Honeyman coming in eighth. William Sawalik in the 18 coming in ninth. And a previous Cup racer, Mr. Harrison Burton in the 25, rounding out that top 10.
Yes, sir. If you just want to take it and put it in the freezer. Yeah.
Oh, look at him getting
I'm eating. Yeah, it's nice. It's a red velvet, basically a blizzard.
Yeah.
From a local.
I would like some too. Thanks.
Place. Well, if you want to drive the 9 hours to get here, I will gladly buy you one.
I don't know if my car would make it that far. Anywho, your Xfinity Series Xfinity Fastest Lap. That's fastest Xfinity Internet. I think I said Xfinity enough times there. Maybe we'll get a sponsorship from them too. The 16
this podcast is going faster than our Xfinity Internet.
Yeah. I don't even know if Xfinity covers my area. But
I know they don't hear.
16 of Christian Eke on lap 45 with a 30.042 lap time.
Yes, sir. And unfortunately, we had a couple post-race tech problems. We had one loose lug nut for the Sheldon Creed, and I'm pretty sure his car chief got fined for it, as well as oh my lord, as well as Nick Sanchez. His car chief got fined for the same thing.
Yeah, sucks to be them. Don't know exactly how much the fine is for, but I'd imagine it's not something that they were give up willingly. Moving on to the Better Health 400. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Your pole winner be Mr. Ryan Blaney in that 12. Nobody DNQ'd because there was only 39 cars. Nobody to the rear. Cool for that. Then your stage 1 winner, Mr. Josh Berry in that 21. Look at that.
It was pretty cool to see him win the stage. Sorry for those mess, guys. This burger they gave me is awful.
I was going to make a comment, but this is a family-friendly show. So, moving on to stage 2.
I know.
Stage 2. Kyle Larson.
Yes, sir. But you know who showed up at the last second in true Atlanta fashion?
Carson Hocevar.
My boy. Well, technically, yes. Carson Hocevar done pushed Chris Bell past the Blaney. I think that's who he's fighting.
I forget who was on the inside there. We were on the brink of another 3-wide finish. But.
Oh yeah, it was insane. So, definitely cool. But behind him, Carson Hocevar, in the 77. The third position went to Kyle Larson in the 5. Ryan Blaney took 4th in his 12 machine, and Recky Spinout himself took 5th.
Yeah, a little top 5 for him. Mr. Denny Hamlin's trying to bounce back. Came back in 6th. Kyle Busch was trying to hold on to the lead there, but couldn't quite do it. Came in 7th. Ross Chastain in 8th. Mr. Bubba Wallace in 9th. And then none other than Legacy Motor Club's John Hunter Nemechek getting his 2nd top 10 of the season.
I was about to say, this is 2 weeks in a row, buddy. Let's keep it going.
There's only 2 drivers that have finished in the top 10 in both races this season so far. Mr. John Hunter Nemechek and Mr. Ryan Blaney.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, Christopher Bell sucks. Anyways, Xfinity fastest lap for the Cup Series went to a colleague, an AJ Allmendinger, on lap 111. Like he made a wish on that lap or something. Hit a 29.541. And,
yes, sir. That's pretty fast.
Yeah. Faster than I can run, that's for sure. Got Kyle Busch and Zane Smith. Both of their cars are going to R&D for further inspection. Just the randos that are going back. Nothing special there.
Yep.
But it's charged. We do got some funness coming up now. We get to talk. Well, before we go to the rookies, I'll let you look at the winless streak list here.
Yes, sir. You know who's at a 0, boy?
There's quite a few that have a 0 in their number. Chris Buescher, Riley Herbst.
I said at
Michael
0,
McDowell, Josh Berry, Cody Ware, Todd Gilliland. You also know who else has a 0? Be in the win column. Mr. Corey LaJoy.
He is at 0 and yeah.
Because he raced this past week.
He did.
Yeah, enough of that. On to the fun part.
Yeah, sure.
Let's check out our rookies.
Let's look at some rookies, boy. Man. Riley Herbst is kicking SV.
and I love it.
I bet you do.
You couldn't tell, Riley Earps is my rookie. That old SVG fella is his. I don't even know who that is. Anywho, Riley Earps started in 27th, moved up 10 spots to finish in 17th, and is stationary. He was 18th in points last week. He stayed in 18th, but now has 40 points.
Yes, sir. And unfortunately, SVG is 34th with only 18 points. So, gotta boost some numbers. Wait till we get to the road courses.
We'll see. We'll see.
Road course king gonna take it over again.
Yeah, AJ Allmendinger. Yeah, enough of those guys. On to our fancy pants.
That I know of.
RHPD Motorsports.
He's not from Australia. He's from New Zealand.
Yeah, he's a Kiwi.
He's a Kiwi.
Let's check out our HPD Motorsports fellers.
Kiwis are birds. Have you ever seen a kiwi? It's so derpy looking. It's cute.
Dun, dun,
right,
dun.
Sorry. Let's go into the only part of the team that has a win this season.
At least both of my drivers can finish up there.
You know what? I have a driver already in the playoffs, okay?
Technically, I have two of them that are currently in the playoffs.
Currently, I said already locked in.
Yeah, well. You got one way outside of the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. But go ahead and start with yours.
I guess so. Mr. Carson Hocevar in that 37 Mountain Dew, all jacked up on Mountain Dew vehicle there. He's got 2 starts, and he squeezed out almost a win.
Why don't you make one of the girls move?
They would have kept that flag green for just a little bit longer. Would have been a win.
He might have had it. I'm not going to lie. If they would have raced to the line, he would have had it.
Started way back in 26th. Finished second. Now 15th in points with 48. And old Tyler Reddick.
Yes, sir.
Started in 18th, finished in 19th. So went back a spot. He's in that Ally machine. Maybe I need to get him a new sponsor. Seems like some bad juju. But he is currently third. Check it, third in points with 72.
Get on there and comment that. Yes, sir. So you've got a pretty good looking team within a team.
Yeah. Much better than your half, just saying.
Yeah, I know. Good. YouTube. All right. So just to kind of step back a little bit, if you guys have not watched the podcast and you're just joining in, RHPD Motorsports is a fantasy team that Voodoo and I created for our 50 sub special. We decided to bring it to this season, but we changed it up a little bit. So the original idea was that we were going to make a team out of the drivers that were already there and take the points from their respective teams as far as like their driver points and stuff like that and see where we stood at the end of the season. And we did pretty dang good. I don't think we didn't have a championship car, but
Last season,
this season, last season. This season we decided to change it up, and we are one team but split. We're seeing who can create the better team. And I think the rules were we could only pick one driver from a team. I think that was the only rule, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we picked. You can't just remake Joe Gibbs Racing and be like, "Oh, this is my team." But we had the numbers 65 and 66 last season. And
Haley, don't get mad that I have the beads and you don't, okay?
Anyway, sorry.
Have you been in the podcast before, Haley? Haley Jones. I don't know if that's your Haley or if that's a different Haley.
It is. It's my Haley.
Okay. I wasn't. The last name threw me off.
Yeah, she's had this Google since before we were married. Anyway, He was asking if it was you or not. Anyway, so this year we kind of decided to split it up, and so we're kind of against each other, but we're still doing the same situation. But of course, I chose the 55 and 56, and I put Cold Custer in the 55 and that Bass Tracker Toyota. And I put Christopher Bell in the NOS 56 Toyota. So, and my choice paid off this week a little bit. One of them did. Of course, Christopher Bell won the Atlanta race, and Cole Custer kind of dropped the ball. I think he got collected in a wreck, if I remember right. So, yeah, Christopher Bell is currently sitting in 12th with 53 points because of a wreck last week. He didn't get to finish so well. And Cole Custer's currently sitting in 35th with only 17 points. So I might be having to do some driver trading. And they lied up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but
so that takes us out of RHPD Motorsports. If you guys would like to hear more, we might be able to do a who knows, we might be able to do some paint scheme reveals or something. Haley said quit flashing the camera. This is a family show.
I didn't have to do any of that type of stuff for these beads. Thank you very much.
No, she's talking about the beads that were flashing.
I'm just saying. I didn't have to do anything that wasn't family friendly. Saying.
As far as we know.
You'll never know any different.
But are you ready to move on to trackside trends?
Let's do it.
She said no. She's seen the video of your kids going at the parade, getting them chunked at them.
Right. Of course, people are going to be loud in the background because that's how we roll.
I'm sure you can hear mine. So,
anyways, nothing really new as far as the NASCAR front, which is kind of surprising this week.
No, but we can talk a little bit because I don't see it on here. Not really NASCAR news, but NASCAR 25 news. They have released a kind of teaser video. Sorry, mine are being loud now. A teaser video talking about the campaign where they will feature all 4 NASCAR stages. So you've got the ARCA, Craftsman, Xfinity, and of course the Cup. Because as you guys know, ARCA is a feeder system for the Cup. A feeder system. So apparently, since not everybody knows what a feeder system is, it's basically the first step before you can go to any NASCAR sanctioned. So it's not technically NASCAR, but it's a system that, like, once you run ARCA, you get selected from ARCA to run the trucks, so on and so on. They also have the Wayland series that they select people from. Wayland is late models. It's kind of like dirt track cars, but they're still on asphalt. So just a quick rundown of I'm excited for NASCAR 25.
Yeah. So I also saw something about that game. As it looks like mid-September is when it's supposed to be released. So roughly a little.
No.
About 7 months, 6.5 months.
Oh, come here. I'll give you a hug. I didn't realize what you're saying. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Me too. Because Heat 5 is getting a little old now.
Yeah, every time I play it, I get kicked out in the second stage, and that kind of gets boring. That I'm hoping that they have a broadcast mode, because I'm not going to lie, I would love to broadcast a league. I would love to create the not really stingers, but like the graphics for the stats and so yeah, kind of like what you do here, Would love to be able to play around with that, learn a little bit more on how to do it. And who knows, we might feature some of the stuff eventually on the podcast.
Maybe so. Something like what is it? The Groovy Hollow race that Eric does on Out of the Groove.
Yeah.
The Halloween race that he does annually.
Yeah. Who knows? It would definitely be fun to get a lot of our viewers to race with us a little bit.
Yeah. But speaking of racing leagues, Mr.
Yes,
Pizza
sir,
Man,
you can get.
Well, that's not the one I was going with.
Oh, good.
I was going to say, speaking of racing leagues, moving on to ARCA, Gears Racing League, which is one of the higher priority iRacing leagues, is going to be the hood sponsor for Mr. Pizza Man, Brayton Lassiter at Charlotte Motor Speedway on May 23rd. So we get that to look forward to. I think the segue he thought I was going with was the podcast thing, but we already technically talked about that.
Oh, yeah, I was going to bring it up again, though.
How many people you want to join in one day? Jeez, getting greedy.
A lot. Mm-hmm. But moving on to Xfinity, we've got Hendrick drivers joining for multiple races, it looks like. In the number 17, got Corey Day for 10 races, Alex Bowman for 2, William Byron for 2, Kyle Larson for 2, and Chase Elliott. Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle Larson for 1, and Chase Elliott for 1.
I am not as beefy as Eddie Hall. Thank you very much.
She'll send me the his crazy videos of like him doing like I don't even know what bootylicious exercises, and she's like, all I can see is Martin doing this, and I was like,
I don't know why she's visualizing me doing those kind of weird things, but anyways.
And don't ask me.
Junior Motorsports.
I think it's your beard.
Maybe. Junior Motorsports has a nice little sponsor lined up for SVG at Watkins Glen. We'll have the Tractor Man, a big Kubota on his car for Watkins Glen and the Xfinity Series.
Yes, sir. We'll get to see a good old orange machine.
Yep.
Sorry, I may or may not have started that you and Eddie Hall thing. So
what a bum.
But yeah, you're welcome. Anyway, moving on to Cup, you got Haas Factory Team running the Camus Vineyards on Cole Custer's car at Sonoma, and Bonanza Cabernet will sponsor him in Las Vegas and Homestead. So getting some wine on the cars.
We get a little bit of taste of that this weekend. You're gonna have a Haas / Bonanza car.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be a little meld together thing going on there. I know we talked about Kubota already with SVG, but they're going to Trackhouse again. They're going to sponsor Ross Chastain for 6 races. There's no surprise, but they're also going to hit Daniel Suarez for 1 race in Texas.
Yes, sir. Man, I wish I could go to Texas this year.
Well, you could.
You've also. I couldn't.
You could.
I was already told absolutely not without her. Anyway,
well, sucks to be her.
Rick Ware Racing is set to run Arby's as a sponsor for Cody Ware's for 12 races is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
He was talking about Texas.
So we don't know which race yet, but Mr. Corey Heim is going to run for 2311 in a couple of races in the Cup Series, driving that number 67 Toyota.
now she's mouthing.
Let her run her mouth.
Yes, right. I'm kind of excited to see that. What did you say to me? Oh, but yeah, I'm kind of excited to see Corey Heim there.
Indeed.
But moving on to our race day horizon. Alrighty then. Are you ready to see the Circuit of Americas?
Hold on, my top things being done.
Well, while you're trying to figure that out, we'll talk about Friday, February 28th on the CW app. At 5 o'clock p.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. Xfinity practice and qualifying. Sorry. And then it's supposed to be mostly sunny with a high of 72, a low of 48, and the winds of 5 miles an hour coming out of the south.
Yeah, and then on Saturday, not February 22nd, I did not update that graphic. It's actually March 1st, but it still is on Saturday. At 11 a.m., you got your practice for the Cup on Prime, followed shortly by Cup qualifying, still on Prime at 12:30. And then you got your NASCAR countdown on the CW for the Xfinity Focused Health 250. That begins 30 minutes later.
Countdown. Sorry.
Cut me off. It's all good. I don't mind. Mostly sunny, high of 75, low of 53. And the winds are still out of the south, but they're 5 to 15 miles an hour, so a little bit stronger than the night before.
Yes, sir. And on
Sunday.
Why is this being stupid? Hang on a minute. Let me try that again.
Sunday.
Hang on, man. Jesus, this is gonna get bumpy.
That's a little better. March 2nd at 2:30 p.m. NASCAR race day will start on Fox, and at 3:30 p.m. the Cup race will be on Fox. The Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix, a total of 95 laps, the first stage being 20, the second stage being 25, and the last stage being 50 laps. It will be partly sunny with isolated showers because, of course, it's NASCAR season. There's going to be rain. Exactly. High of 70, low of 60, and southeast winds from 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Yes.
Back to you in the studio.
Neither one of us are in the studio. I'm in my bedroom. Entry
I'm in
list
my living room
for Xfinity. We are going to have a couple of D&Qs because there's only 38 spots, but we got 41 cars trying out. So a couple people going to be going home. But we do got some notable entries. Mr. Ross Chastain will be running at 9. Carson Hocevar, my buddy, be running in the 14. Willie B in the 17. Riley Erbst in the 19. And Mr. Corey Heim in the 24.
Yes, sir. And for Cup, we will have 37 cars, so nobody's going home. And the only extra person is the 87 of Connor Zilic.
Wonder what paint
we do have a couple. I wonder. Excuse you, rude. We do have some new sponsors for Coda.
Yeah, we don't have images of these yet.
Nope, but we can still talk to you about them if you wouldn't mind. We've got the number 1 of Ross Chastain running a Busch Light for the love of Texas. So be prepared to see a big scheme on his car because everything's bigger in Texas. Apparently, even love.
Right. And I would say, why isn't he racing in that Texas? But I mean, they're going to be in Austin, so still Texas technically. Mr. Josh Berry, not necessarily a new scheme for the Wood Brothers, but Freightliner is going to be on that car this week.
Yes, sir. I'm sure it's going to be just like every other Wood Brothers car because why wouldn't it be? Zane Smith is running
it's actually going to be a little
title
bit different.
max. Oh, really?
I don't think it's going to be red. I think it'll be different.
Zane Smith's running his title max car.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to look the same as his buddy that ran it this past week.
I'm sure it's going to be similar.
4. Seems to be what they're doing. But we do have a brand new sponsor. I don't think I've seen on a car recently. Mr. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Will have a rate car.
Yes, sir. New. I about turned my table over. That's cool. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. But we do have some paint schemes for Coda.
Sure.
Got a Bubbles' Mobile 1 scheme, which is pretty nice if you ask me. They did a little less black, a little more red. I kind of like it.
Not too bad.
This will also be on Tyler Reddick's car at Phoenix, so.
Which you can see in the background there.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. You see Bubbles on that lovely little scheme this weekend, but
I'm just gonna say it's kind of hard going wrong with a Mobile 1 scheme. They're all pretty. They're all pretty good. The gold one is still the best one in my opinion.
Absolutely.
The one that Kobayashi ran, I think he's the one that ran
him
it.
And Corey Haim, I think, both ran it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. But that's what we'll see this weekend and at Phoenix. But we'll also see his teammate with a new paint scheme. That'd be Mr. Riley Earps, my rookie. The Chumba Casino paint scheme. Little interestingness going on here.
It almost makes you think of like the 90s definition of African art. Like, if that makes any sense to anybody.
I couldn't exactly put myself on what I was thinking it looked like, but I could get behind that statement. And obviously we'll see it on the 23 and the 45 at some point this season, but they haven't announced which race for that.
Like, do you remember Zoo Books? This is what would be on the elephant version of the Zoo Books. But it's not a bad looking car. I kind of like it. It's just
they're all the exact same though, other than the number.
Yeah,
but I mean they're running at different races, so I guess it's not that big of a deal.
It'd be cool to sell, like, have the 3-pack if they ever sold them. I mean, it's not one that I would actively seek out, but if I seen it, I'd probably buy it.
Right.
But anywho, that kind of wraps up our race day horizon. So are you ready to go into the slick scheme spotlight?
Sure, why not?
Slick Scheme Spotlight is brought to you by Happy Hour Racing, a go-to place for your NASCAR and F1 needs. They've got die-cast shirts, hats, keychains, pretty much everything you need. They ship pretty quick. I got mine within the week that I ordered it. And if you use code RHPD, we will get a little bit off the top of your order with no extra cost to you. Just support the podcast a little bit. As you can tell, guys, we're moving up. We're changing our setups to make it a little bit better for you guys. And I hope you appreciate it as much as we appreciate you supporting. So,
with that being said, you got the paint scheme from this past weekend, so you get to go first.
I do. I chose Bubba Wallace's Columbia's scheme because, let's be honest, this thing screams 90s.
It does indeed.
I love it to death. Like, it makes me want to go match up with the roller rink carpet. You know which one I'm talking about. And just, I actually am going to try to find this car. And I'm not even a Bubbles fan, but this car is just so aesthetically pleasing. I definitely need it. But Bubbles did not do too shabby. He started 14th, and at the end of stage 1, he was 4th. The end of stage 2, he was a hot 2nd. And the final and the final tally of everybody, he finished in 9th. So not a bad run for Bubbles.
Okay, I guess.
I think that, I mean, he is in the top 10. And he had a nice looking car to take him there, and definitely one of my favorites on track.
Mm-hmm. Not too bad. I remember when we revealed this during the scheme scene, I brought up Saved by the Bell. That's what the vibes it gave me.
Yeah, that gives me the same one. The mid part hair and Saved by the Bell, Boy Meets World. You know.
Yeah, Boy Meets World was the best show ever. Just say.
That was a good show.
That's his scheme. I get to bring one from the past, which I didn't go too far in the past for this one.
Not too far past.
I went to the 2022 Daytona 500 with Mr. Jacques Villeneuve in his Woody's Wash Shack car there. Nice little orange and baby bluish surf blue going on there.
I definitely like this car.
It's pretty, and it's got orange on it, so that's one of the reasons why I grabbed it.
I'm sure it is. Honestly, I didn't remember this car.
Well, the 27 didn't really get to run all that much.
Did it get wrecked out at the beginning? It's been too long. I have no idea.
He didn't get wrecked at the beginning, but they only ran for like 1, maybe 2 seasons.
Okay. See, this was right when I started getting back into racing, so.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna have to find this diecast if they made it.
Coming in.
Did they make this diecast?
But
hang on a minute.
Anywho, he started in 40th place, so all the way in the back of the field. Worked his way almost halfway up the field and finished in 22nd place. Not too shabby either. Especially for a smaller team.
Let's see here. Sorry, I'm Villeneuve. 2022. Sorry, I have a problem with buying NASCAR. You guys should know this. If you don't know, you should go watch Diecast Distraction on TikTok because it shows a little bit of my addiction.
That is a proper term for it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not even pretending it's not. Oh, they didn't. It doesn't look like they made a diecast.
Probably not.
Man, that's
a smaller team. So
yeah, but it's still a nice car. So. Yeah.
We got this time round.
Fortunately, it does not look like they made one.
We are sitting
a little salty about it.
119 subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe
you want to
button
make it
push us up.
120. Yeah, if you guys want to make it 120, be sure to hit that sub button. And if you really liked what you've seen tonight, we are live every Monday at the same time, unless something major comes up, which we hit our year mark a few weeks ago, and I think we've only missed 2 episodes, and that was because we both had family emergencies.
One of them was my fault because I decided I needed my appendix out. So.
Right. Yeah, the other one was mine because family has to get sick and in car wrecks or whatever. But anyway, so we're pretty consistent even in the off season. So if you guys like what you've seen, be sure
to
one of those follow
podcasts up on that ditches out on you when the season's over.
Definitely, we come up with content, whether that be us doing a league this year or whatever. And who knows? We will play it by ear. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like he said, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the like button for us. Go follow us on TikTok. That's where we mainly post. Or you can join our Discord because on some of the races we do a watch party. So you guys can jump in the chat and watch it with us. And if you guys want to jump in the chat here next time, we would love to have you jump in here because we love talking to people. So we just we like hearing other people's opinions. If you want to listen to us talk to the Wrap It Up guys about their opinions, go join our Patreon. It's 100% free right now. But
there's a link directly to the video in the description.
Yes, which we're going to be releasing snippets of it on YouTube eventually, just not yet. But if you go to our Patreon, you can see the whole video unedited. And if you guys haven't, go check out the Wrap It Up guys. They're pretty awesome. Aaron and Justin are pretty cool, so be sure to go check them out as well. We've got some things planned in the future, looking forward to. So we hope that you stick around for those. So, you got anything to add before I read us out?
I know we brought up Happy Hour Racing's merch, but if you want to support the podcast directly, we got our own merch. That description is also down in the description below. I need to make some fun little things of them going across the screen and stuff.
I need to figure out how I can take. I hope in NASCAR 25 you can take like files off your computer and put them on your car, kind of like you can in iRacing. Because I need to figure out how to put our little things on a car and make it fun.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all we got for this episode of Race Hell Praise Dale. And since I had the old school scheme, Mr. Dally gets to sign us off.
Sorry, I'm sticking a sticker on here.
I don't think that's a car, sir.
What? Yeah. So hopefully y'all guys can see the Cucumber Cowboy better. But let me read us out, and then we will jump out of this podcast. Thank you guys so much for riding shotgun with us on this episode of Race Hail, Praise Dale. Remember, the checker flag might fall, but the excitement never ends. So until next time, keep the pedal to the metal and the passion for racing burning. This has been Race Hail, Praise Dale, and we are officially signing off. Catch you guys in the next turn.